Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. Obviously, if you don't know me, I'm GameTimeUK, and I'm obviously here to help out do the Mercury Fallen 1.0 release stream, and I am joined by the developer himself, Tim.
Howdy. How's everybody doing today?
So hopefully you guys can actually hear us in chat. So can you please just let us know in chat that you can hear us? That would be great.
Right. Yeah, because there's two of us. So hopefully we don't sound too similar. Hopefully that's not confusing.
Hopefully not.
So, but I'm not the one in the top right. So just so everybody knows. So I'm a ghost in the background. Okay, good. Yeah, we got some confirmations here.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, let's get into this, shall we? So we're going to start with a standard game, which gives us, obviously, 3 colonists and a robot. I'm not liking them odds to the way that's starting.
It's a standard start, man. You know, I mean, you just gotta deal with.
Yeah. Looking at that, it's got materials around, that'll do. Okay, so now this is the interesting part. Ooh, you're more of a janitor on that. So... Okay, so my body is a temple which apparently... what do you... Alright, so you're not good because you're a... Actually, no, you're a botanist. You'll do.
Yeah, botanist is a decent start. I mean, you know, usually a, you know, I mean, you want probably at least a minor.
Yeah.
An early scientist. Well, I don't know. I mean, early scientists can somewhat help, I suppose. But I mean, they do level up pretty quick, you know, if you're dealing with a dedicated scientist, so.
Yeah. Fear of animals. You can't do biology, but you are violent. That'll do. And you can't do botany. You're a surveyor. You're smart.
And that makes sense. I mean, you know, if a person's violent, it's probably good that they're not around animals.
Yeah. Okay, so the robot is just the robot. Let's get into this.
So howdy, we got Slipper Jim, we got Fox Prime in chat. I'm gonna butcher your name, Piero Pavan, Sparrow. Howdy, folks, welcome. And yeah, Fox Prime. Yeah, if you get 2 cents on suggestions, I mean, at this point, I think you probably know this game better than I do, and I'm the developer.
So, I do like this bit at the beginning. It gives you a little bit of a insight.
Yeah. Greedy mega corporations.
And then basically just construct the elevator, rebuild the underground facility, construct the elevator, and establish satellite connections to Earth. Okay, so must remember deconstruct. Yeah, okay.
So Fox Prime says that he always goes with the robot uprising scenario. So, which, I mean, we went with the standard scenario, but there's a couple of different starting scenarios which changes up what colonists you get by default. Robot uprising one is basically starting with robots instead of colonists, because there are colonists to find as you dig out the map.
Yeah.
Even in the robot uprising scenario. You can also have a custom scenario and, you know, do what you want there as far as how, you know, type and count of zero. Thank you, Jim. Congratulations. So it's Mercury Fallen's been in early access for quite some time. Pretty exciting to finally get a 1.0 release.
It's... yeah. I'd help if I actually got there. Okay.
So, and I'm like 20 seconds behind you too. So,
Yeah.
you know, I am liable to respond to things that are no longer relevant.
I want to do my usual, which is pull all.
Starting supply chest.
Yeah. Pull all my walls and my floors down. How I usually start. Did I not mark? Have I not got? I haven't got a builder, have I?
Oh, this will be fun.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, you might find one.
Let's put you and that for now.
Howdy, Zed Fontaine. Thank you for the grats. I too am glad to see this project finally released.
Okay, so
So for those unfamiliar, each colonist can have up to 3 job roles assigned at any one given time. There are more than 3 job roles, but that is the part of the strategy of the game, is balancing your job role assignments.
Who were you again? Which one were you? That's... No, you're not the botanist, are you? So... Build a miner and... Okay, I know about construction. Mechanical energy, obviously. I like how the utility room became an optional thing. Actually, no. I won't use a tech. Put you as a technician. You're a scientist.
Suggestion from chat says to change the primary job of the robot from janitor to builder. So, that sounds like a sound suggestion, because usually want them to get on building tasks before mopping stuff up, generally.
Where's he gone? Where's Jeff Bot gone? I had to bring it back, I'm sorry.
Well, that's fair. So.
Okay, so we've got miner, janitor, builder. Right. Okay. If you see me sort of looking to my left a little bit, it's because, unfortunately, I decided to position my mic. My mic's in the wrong place, and it interferes with my. That's why we'll deconstruct. Ah, you're my botanist. I'm gonna put your builder and a miner, just so it helps me out here. There's deconstruction. Right. I need space, because if I don't get space, it's not giving too many tasks to begin with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the moment you get a lot of idle colonists going on.
Yeah.
So definitely want to start getting your miners going.
There.
Oh, that was nice. I just hadn't paid attention. Steam was notifying me that Mercury Fallen 1.0 is now available. I had no idea. That's great.
Okay, so where is my utility? Just build a 3x3 area. This is how I normally start, and then expand out if I need to. Put you on there.
Yeah, because I mean the primary goal early on, I mean you want to get some basic power gen going with the MGs, and then
yeah,
some research. Also, don't forget There's also the sleeping mats, which can help reduce stress-related issues. So, and also from chat, remember that you're underground. So yeah, that's yeah. You want as far as exploratory, probably want to do some mining tunnels and stuff just to avoid potential cave-ins.
Yeah. So I really want to go. Which side of the map? I'm not. There's any side of the map. Okay, so I want to sort of go that way then, don't I? Where's the? Have I got the science floor? There won't be any rooms or anything like that yet because.
Well, because you don't have any materials to really
no,
build any yet.
I want to get on the science. I want to start the science early on if I can do that. Where is? No, I keep forgetting. I always press that button. Crop fields. Seed bin. Oh, yeah, seed bin's that. How many crop fields do I need to build? 4. Don't know if I've got the space.
We'll make more space.
So I've been playing. Problem is, I went to press shift and then it's like, wrong game.
And drag up multiple?
I was basically trying to put another one down and then I realised it's the wrong game because the other game that I've been playing was you have to do shift to do that.
Oh.
No. Right, so we've got.
But yeah, don't forget there's the eyedropper tool. If you shift click on an existing structure, you can put that in. You can quickly build more of them that way.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Skyhaven Enterprise Discovery.
So Fox Prime brings up a good point that I actually wasn't going to mention to you, which is you might want to leave space between the fields to avoid plant disease from spreading. But, you know, see what happens.
Yeah. If need be, then I'll just move them. Obviously, you got your information about your Infinity Corporation.
Yep, which is the lovely corporation that sent the colonists here.
Yeah. And then obviously you've got your colony logs. And obviously planet map I'm not going to be able to see yet because of the elevator. Research, I really need to get into research as quick as possible. Why have I got no power? There's my... That's why you need to swap that job around. And because the robot needs... I'm actually going to put you on a roster. No, I don't want you. Put you on a roster. Keep forgetting about the rosters, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the rosters are really only important once you have kind of more colonists. Because they'll still do the job without being on a roster. The roster just kind of limits who can and can't interact with that particular machine. So it can be helpful later on when you have a bunch more colonists and you don't want them, you know, you want to more strictly assign this colonist to these machines and this colonist to those machines.
Yeah. Right, so that's done. Robot's got charge. So,
Thank you, Fox Prime. So Fox Prime mentions that he loves the overall aesthetic to the game, font choice, logo design, etc. Thank you very much. So, because that's all my little sausage fingers making making all that stuff.
Yeah. I do have to say though that your logo design and stuff like that, the way I know you did something for me personally, and it was like, yeah, I need to brush up on my skills.
Yeah, well, skills like that are so perishable. I mean, because I bounce back and forth between, obviously, I'm, as a solo developer, I'm doing programming, I'm doing art, I'm doing, various different things. And, I mean, the core things usually are just like programming and art. There's a lot of those things. And both of which are extremely perishable skills.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't take long before it's like, wait, how do I do this again?
You would have to open up into a bigger area, wouldn't you? I was hoping you weren't going to do that game. Okay. It's fine.
So Fox Prime, you said you've never actually used the rosters. Then you said, is he interested in how other people use them? Are you interested in how other people use them? Yeah, okay, you correct. You said, yeah, how I'd be interested. Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested too. I mean, I built the system, but I don't always spend as much time, like, actively playing the game the same way regular player would.
I mean, I've used the rosters, but usually I don't tend to use them too much. It depends what it is. It's like these, I'll end up putting the botanist on the roster because why not? Why? Oh, that's why. No, I meant to do that. No.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, as Fox Prime proves, because he's he has played a lot of this game, very much repeatedly. So it definitely goes to show you that the rosters are certainly not a requirement. It's just a means of having an additional level of control over who can and can't interact. So to me, like, the way I might use them is if I've got different, like if I've got a couple of different engineers and I've got a couple of different engineering stations, I can assign one engineer to one station, the other engineer to the other station. So then that way they're only ever going to use that one station. They'll ignore the queue on the other one. So then I can have like dedicated people working those two different things. Yeah. Hey, Willow has joined the chat. Welcome, Willow. How's it going?
Right, that's that. I've got you doing research. Have I not actually connected that up properly? I'm guessing not.
What did you not connect up properly?
Well, the charge pad is saying it's got no power.
Yeah, you're not generating enough power.
Okay.
You need another EMG.
I'll fix that then. Because I'm guessing, yeah, that's now zapping it all, of course.
Willow Comment says that it is good to see you, Chris.
Hi, Willow. What's Fox Prime saying? Need your tech. Slightly confused. You might have to help me out on that one.
Yeah.
I want to do something with that area. But I need to. Oh, right,
Oh,
okay.
he was saying, need your technician. So the technician is who goes over and,
Yeah.
charges the EMG. So.
So, sand. Where is.
So, but also I think, how much power does the science station use? Because that uses. Click on it, it'll tell you, or you can go to the build menu.
No, don't cancel the deconstruction. It is. Yeah, 100 watts. That's why. Wasn't
Okay,
producing
that's what I
enough.
thought. I thought it might be 100 watts. No. Again, I feel like I should know that, but
Yeah, but you coded that.
there's too many things to keep track of. So, someone suggests upping the game speed to ×2, just to move things a little bit quicker.
I can't find speed control.
Oh, the minimap.
It isn't. It isn't ×2. Was it not? No, it
it's
wasn't.
on,
I must have put it on ×2.
Yeah, there we go. That's on ×2.
Have I got research? Yeah, I got a fair bunch.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of points. Start smashing that research.
Power storage don't want yet because you need steel. Can't go that way.
No, but ore processing is going to definitely be good. Oh, yeah. I usually kind of ignore bedrooms early on, and just kind of slam some of the tech so I can start getting processing some materials and stuff.
Right.
But don't forget to be using those the miners and marking out some mining tunnels. Usually like a 2x2 tunnel going off in different directions, just to explore the map a little bit. So if you do kind of like basically like branch mining,
yeah,
Minecraft.
But I need to sort of open myself a bit of an area to kind of want to come over here. Oh well, you've just opened. Oh right, okay. That's an early discovery. Didn't expect that.
Well, I'll figure out what it is in about 20 seconds. Oh, you're talking about that cave?
The arrowhead fungus.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's good. Yeah, get a botanist on that. Harvest it up.
Got that. Research wise. Obviously, I'm gonna want to go down the food prep, but I'm gonna need water. That's the problem with this start. I need to start looking for water.
Yep. Jim asks, what's the cave-in range? It's five tiles from an existing structural support, which would either be natural wall like dirt, coal, stone, whatever, or a placed structure such as wall, elevator, that type of thing.
Yeah, that I couldn't remember.
So, because 5 is the clearance zone, so basically, like, on that 6th tile, I believe, is you want the you'd want that structural support. So, but I think you're safe right now anyway because the cave-in event I think gives you do get a grace period on that for the first few days before certain events start kicking in.
That's a problem. That's hitting the edge of the top of the map. I want to get that bit actually. I want to get this area sort of. I want to see what is here. But I kind of want to keep them there for now. Come on, come on, come on. It's not water, is it? No, it's stone. Definitely didn't make it easy, did I?
Or maybe I didn't make it easy. I mean, I built the game, so maybe it's my fault.
I wouldn't say it was your fault.
Could be. I don't know.
I suppose I'm not actually used to playing on normal maps, if I'm honest. I usually do the big maps.
Oh, yeah. Which is not necessarily easier or harder as far as the early start.
Yeah.
As far as finding water.
Alright. Where is my...
Buddy, Red Event Games, welcome to the chat.
Hi, Leon. Why am I having problems?
Thank you very much on the luck on the release. No words, I really do.
You fail English? That is impossible.
I know, right? That's impossible.
Could do. Why am I? What's the run? The slow down here. What is the slow down?
What are you trying to do?
Okay. I'm not. Am I low on structure resin? Yes, I am.
I'll start. Well, it'll help deconstructing.
Flooring. Yeah.
The old facility walls and floors and stuff. They'll give you some good structure resin. So, I mean, not as much as I used to because I fixed a bug just the other day related to that. So,
yeah, because you used to get a...
there was a bug because the amount that you got from damaged walls was more than regular walls. According to all the data that was put in there, because it was reported to me, and I'm like, no, damaged walls is supposed to drop 3, and regular walls would drop 4 on deconstruct. So damaged walls drop less, and it's like, no, damaged walls are dropping to 6. I'm like, okay. So after double checking that, I found an issue. It was doubled up. So I fixed that issue, and so now you don't get as much structure resin from damaged stuff.
Didn't realize. I was going to say this because I didn't realize you did. Or...
Yeah, it's easy to not necessarily realize that was not by intent or whatever, but yeah, that was a bug.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Arc Fox Prime says he knows he shouldn't have reported that. I wasn't going to call you out on it, but yeah, it was Fox Prime that reported that. So if anybody doesn't like that fix, that's Fox Prime's fault.
To be honest, I don't think I'd ever noticed it.
It's easy to not necessarily notice. Or if you happen to notice, it's like, well, it seems like maybe it's some weird by intent design or something, but no, that was not the case.
Yeah, no, never noticed, and would never have noticed until you'd said. Basically.
And that's a tricky bit too. I mean, I give, I'm very, very grateful for the testers that I've had over the years that provided all sorts of feedback on various issues. And as a tester, I think it's always challenging sometimes to know, like, well, what is a bug and what's by design.
Yeah.
There might be certain things that are just by design that or something that you just think, oh, that's probably intentional, and it's not.
Yeah. That's good. That's copper. Oh yeah. Oh, look, thermal vent.
That'll be good for down the road.
Yeah. Still got a water shortage though.
Yeah, still haven't come across any water.
No. That's why I'm tunneling the way I am. I'll take a wild potato seed while I'm at it as well. Okay.
So, what do you have?
Ooh, water. Got it.
Ah, sweet. What do you have growing? Do you have potato and hemp growing? Okay.
At the moment.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, make sure. I mean, obviously, potatoes are good for the food, but you want the hemp growing, so for products later.
Yeah, because you need that cloth and
plastic.
Yeah. Obviously. Research. Is fishing worth it this early on?
Probably not. Let's see, what else you got? So you got
Solid
resource
fuel
management.
generators. Med.
Yeah, I mean the solid fuel generators would be good, but I mean you need steel for that, I think.
You need a lot of hemp.
But don't forget to unlock under recipes. Research recipes is where you're gonna find the steel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, because you got the food prep. If you focus on working towards trying to get that up and running, you got some cooked potatoes going.
Yeah.
So, and and Fox Prime says if you can get the spores, Arrowhead is better for food, not toxic. Ravan says you need a lot of hemp. That is true. That is true. You might at some point want to invest in placing down some more crop fields for
hemp. Yeah, because you need it for cloth and.
Yeah, you need it for two different things, and plastic especially is used in a lot of different recipes.
That's not helping. Deconstruct. See, if I knew the keys, if I could remember the keys off by heart, that wouldn't be so bad. The deconstruction keys. But because I can't see where the keys are right now. Okay, let's go with This is probably just not. You're not gonna go there. Sand. It's not solid ground. Can I open? Can I open that area and not risk a cave-in? I know they need power. So need that. That's 100, that's 150 already, so I need, that's 250, I'm not got enough power, so I need another EMG. I want to open. Need to open the area up a bit without causing a cave-in, I think.
Yep. Cave-ins are bad, okay?
They never used to be, but they are now.
So, oh yeah, oh you found a, oh you got 2 sources of water, I see.
Yeah.
That's good.
Ooh.
That is very good, and thank you for stopping by. Ron says he's got to go back to editing.
Yeah, no problem. Shall.
Thank you very much for dropping by.
What are you? Ooh, you're an engineer.
And Fox Prime says to build a few standalone wall columns for support. So when you're clearing out larger areas, you can put down some
Yeah.
just single wall pieces to help with structural support.
Let's get rid of you. You're an engineer. Keep you as an engineer. For now, I just need building supplies. I'll reassign these job roles in a minute. I put that on the rust. Put you on there. I need to get power. It's that one. Wait a minute, I did click on the power, not the water. Okay. Power consumption, that's water. 300. Okay, so I've got enough to cover me right now. Let's do. Oh, okay. That on there. I know it seems a weird way of doing these craft recipes. You'll see what I mean when I've.
Yeah, so you're doing. Well, no, you're doing the craft if below. That's.
Yeah, I know, but some people might not do it that way. Some people might just craft a whole bunch of.
Yeah, no. To be honest with you, I think most people probably do craft it below, because well, you know, I mean, because it's an easy way to just start automating the process. So it's a bit of a set it and forget it.
What am I? What's that one? Structural resin. Where is that on my list? If it's not on my list, I probably don't have it. Actually, no. I'll increase that. Not to that much. somebody getting violent there? Because I heard a noise like sounded like somebody was getting violent.
Oh, yeah. I saw it. It was like, you missed it, but there was like a frame just as you were opening up the add order window.
Hmm.
Just before it appeared, I could see somebody with a bat right behind the window before it got covered up.
Was it messing around with the oil refiner?
It looked like the biorefiner.
Yeah, I heard the noise. There's a lot of
Yeah, Fox Prime had stress reaction. So different colonists have different stress reactions, which Fox Prime knows. But for anybody who doesn't know, so you get, they get really high stress. There's different reactions that they can have as far as becoming violent and damaging equipment, throwing up.
yeah, I was hoping that there wasn't going to be one that ends up rolling up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little bit of throw up, I suppose, can be easier to deal with than somebody, taking a bat to some equipment, but depends on the day, I guess.
Well, yeah. Alright, so you...
probably the easiest one to deal with is the sad pacing.
Yeah, I think I've got...
Just pace back and forth, sadly.
Yeah, I think I've got a couple of people that are like that. So... what are you missing? Structure resin, isn't it? Yep.
They're completely out of structure resin.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to do what I didn't want to do, but my plan.
But as Fox Prime says, throwing up is a good way to train your janitors, which is true. So,
Yeah.
they so the colonists level up in their relevant job skills, and picking up piles of vomit is a good way to level up a janitor.
Yeah. I could probably get... I know that's a little sneaky. I always thought when you zoomed out the cursor speed was a bit quicker. I thought there was a way to speed up the cursor movements.
What do you mean, the
Depressed.
the camera movement, or?
Hmm.
Oh, I mean, it is technically a little bit faster when zoomed out, but
So somebody's got depression today. Oh, great. It's my botanist.
probably.
So what I might do then is actually you. And there is.
So, I mean, I suppose that's better than, the person that's got a mining laser is depressed. So, it'd be worse.
What did that machine ever do to you, dude? Seriously.
Looked at him funny.
Yeah. Right. So, that's quite a wide area. Why is all the... Okay, so there's just there's just tons and tons of water. I suppose it is a good thing, but...
No, well, I mean, earlier we didn't have enough water. Now we have too much.
Yeah. Pull that down. I can just get enough materials to get them machines powered up. That's what I want. You think I wouldn't play survival game? Well, it's not a survival game, but a
colony management game. Or a base builder.
Class it as a base builder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's both. I mean, it's a base builder slash, colony management, which I suppose a lot of that is kind of the same. You're usually managing a colony of people if you're building a base, I suppose.
Where's my...
Inevitably, someone's going to inhabit that base.
Where is that? That's a question I actually have for you, Tim. Was there ever a way to prioritise your electric stuff getting done?
I think it does by default internally. But if you're looking, or actually no, if you're, what I was thinking of is as far as how stuff gets powered. No, if you're talking about, there's the construction queue, which you can always move stuff around in the construction queue.
We move. I want them. Need these to get done first, rather than. Or is that? Oh no, that's my wall. That's fine. I forgot about the construction queue. I'm just gonna move that to the top.
Apparently, I nearly forgot about it too just a second ago.
Move them there. I'll do.
The other thing you can do too is just slam the wall in the crop field to the bottom.
Yeah. As long as like the power conduits get built, then stuff can start getting made, which is what I need. That's what I want. Is then now I'm not slowing myself down. I probably did miss a robot.
So, Piro, oh yeah, you were just, okay, you're responding to that just as I was just gonna.
I probably have missed a robot, but
I mean, which I mean, a robot is sometimes be better to revive than a human because a human's got more overhead.
Oh yeah, I know. Robot. If I missed it, when did I miss him?
Said it's in the south.
Oh, he's there. What are you? Why are you getting... Actually, I'm gonna build actually gonna have one as a tech. Just it'll keep my power going. Just for the fun. Just for the funsies. There we go. I forgot about this. I really should have done this.
What'd you forget about?
Recolorations.
Yes.
Why are you... Oh, you don't have a sleeping mat, do you? I was about to say, why are you sleeping on the floor? You don't have a sleeping spot.
Yeah. Hello, the colonist.
No, that's the wrong way.
Sleeping on the ground.
So... What was I going to say to you? There was something I was going to actually say, and I cannot remember. Is that on the only thing on my building queue? That's the only thing on my building queue.
Fox Prime says you might want tech higher than Holler. Holler is almost always available, so jobs at lower priority never happen. So, Which the other thing too is, I mean, obviously at some point starting to set up some storage for stuff.
Oh, I will do. Don't worry. That's
I'm sure.
I was trying to get the materials.
Sorry, is there other things you're trying to accomplish as well?
Yeah. No, didn't want. Cancel. No, clear. Current crop. What hemp? The question was, for people that may not know, was, as a developer, how did you come up with your system requirements for this game?
Oh yeah, system requirements. Those are always fun. So system requirements in general, as far as development for games go, is usually just a matter of testing on, having a kind of a primary testing system as a bit of a benchmark, and then using that as a reference point for other hardware. So like if like the game performs well under these given conditions and this given hardware, then you can kind of make certain assumptions that, oh, okay, well, if it's going to work for this little video card or whatever, then obviously it's going to work anything above it. And you can test on older hardware. There's ways of aside from having the hardware itself, there's ways on the software side to emulate certain hardware in certain conditions, so you can test the game under different kind of emulated systems with like lower memory or an older video card to kind of see what happens and see if it's going to function well, and then use that as a base mark and use that to figure out your kind of minimum and recommended requirements.
Which, yeah, I mean, I can see it not being too taxing on certain machines, really. But it depends what you're playing, because obviously, like you say, as you know, as well, you and I both know, there are probably people that like to mobile game and use laptops.
Sure. Well, and I think it's a common misconception too that video games, obviously because it's a visual medium, and what's talked about most is usually video cards, right? And a lot of people usually look to see like, oh, like want the latest and greatest video card, and will it support this or whatever. But realistically, there's a lot of different aspects to a game, and I think especially games that are like this, there's a lot of processing that's going on in the background that has nothing to do with the video card. That's all about your main computer processor and memory and stuff like that, as far as how quickly it can, figure out certain things, like pathfinding, for example. Like in order for a colonist to get from point A to point B, it needs to generate some path to get there. So that's not going to happen on the video card. Like the main computer is going to figure that out and then generate a path and then provide it to the colonist so they can get to its destination. So the computer itself is definitely important, as much as like just a video card. And I think a lot of people tend to just look at like the video card as a metric for how well a game is going to perform. But if we look at, I think in some ways Minecraft, especially Java Minecraft, I think is a good example of that, where it's not necessarily like a crazy high-spec game in terms of visuals, but it can be very demanding on a system, especially especially with like the amount of like processing and stuff like that goes into with Minecraft, with procedural generation and doing a lot of stuff in the background that needs to be kind of handled and processed. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So Fox Prime asks, out of curiosity, how multi-threaded is MF? So there's some dedicated tasks, kind of like actually what I was talking about with the pathfinding, where the pathfinding is actually runs on a separate thread, so that way, and like action planning and pathfinding all happen on a separate thread. So yeah, so there are various things that are multi-threaded to try to make sure that, you know, and especially for a game like this, that's where things are really important, is just to kind of make sure that certain processes are just kind of handled offline, because otherwise, you know, for the uninitiated, if when we talk about threads in general, it's just you know, how the computer processes information. It's basically, you know, a ticket to be able to do anything. So any processing that a computer does has to be done in a linear format. So it does one thing, the next thing, the next thing. And threading allows things to happen in parallel. So suddenly it can kind of do more than one thing, you know, at a time. The simple explanation of that. So so that way, like, instead of having to wait for pathfinding to complete before something else happens, pathfinding kind of, and action planning can happen on the side while other things are also concurrently being handled. And but yeah, so yeah, Fox Prime, there's some various aspects that are multi-threaded for MF.
I wasn't. I said that's why I was just letting you obviously explain stuff, and wasn't interrupting them. So I've got. I didn't actually assign stuff here, did I? That's my mistake. Okay. So we can, if I remember rightly, we can use flooring to go across water. Can we?
Yep, sure can.
Yes, we can. Good. Because I'm thinking probably starting to maybe set up certain areas in here. That's what I'm thinking, like the kitchen and stuff.
Right.
Is one thing I want to obviously set up. I know I've got. What's that plan? Oops. I've got. I know I've got research and discoveries.
So Willow asks, how many people worked on MF? So the answer to that is
You.
Me, myself, and I. If you want to count myself as 3 people. But yeah, from the ground up, I developed Mercury Fallen myself. And yeah, that involves the programming, art, various different systems, and so some of the sound design, some of the music. So yeah, it's for work. But I am indeed a solo developer.
See, the reason why I know you said not to put the flooring over the water, but if I didn't, it then gives them a -50 buff on movement speed. Why? What are you?
So, well, also water has got a core impact too.
Are you depressed? Because you just seem to be. Stop. Stay still, thank you. Can you not pathfind, or are you depressed?
She's depressed.
Oh yeah, depressed. Stress levels. Okay. I was wondering there. I was just
doing the sad pacing.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, with that head down action, that's the sad pacing.
So I want. Hang on, is that structure resin or is it hardened structure? Structure resin. Okay. So what I want to do is a little bit of a kitchen. Did I unlock? Yes, I did. Good. The steel. I'm gonna actually put Q on. Oh yeah, something else. Steel, come on. Iron? Is... Which one is it? Iron or copper?
Sorry.
I thought it
So,
was.
but if you do yeah, so the steel has you can either use the iron ore or the iron ingot for the recipe, so you can choose when you set up the order whether or not you want to use the ore or the ingot.
Oh, right, okay. Don't actually know how many I'll need right now, but I'm just gonna do that. Have I got another order to here yet? No. It's fine. Right. Kitchen.
In chat, what's fun is when sad pacing chooses two endings that are close physically but separated by walls. So the pacer takes a long path back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I like a good long pace back and forth. You know, otherwise, you know, I just get dizzy on those super short.
Bioplastic colonist log. Some more split seeds. Some more potato seeds. Right. So what do I need?
No worries at all, Prime. As far as the bad mobile typing, I hate typing on mobile. I'm not a fan.
Fat thumbs?
Yeah, I get big sausage fingers, so you know, they work great on a regular keyboard, but that tiny little,
Yeah.
you know, I get big fat thumbs, so it's, you know, and half the time, every time I try to do, what is it? I'm pulling up my keyboard just so I can see.
That's a problem.
Yeah, so often if I'm trying to do A, I'll hit Shift to go to capital.
Yeah.
And then anything on that bottom row, Z through M, on the mobile keyboard, I'll inevitably hit spacebar at the wrong time. And
75 watts.
so, I mean, I've gotten better. Definitely better than I used to be, but
10. Why
Why is what?
That's why. I was wondering why were all my generators running there, but then seriously.
Micah's yeah, this can be the sad, the tricky bit of doing the rosters at this stage. So, because you're limiting what technician can come in and interact with that machine.
Yeah, I forgot I have my bot as well, don't I? Right, so you're gonna be food types. I know there's no power or water yet. Just working on that as a moment. Because everything needs power. I can reach that. That's going to need steel. What I am going to do as well is I'm going to move these crop fields. I'm going to put these over here. I'm going to bring them over here. Make a little bit of a bigger space.
Right, and then also make sure the crop plots are not directly adjacent.
Yeah. See, because it never, and that's what I will say, it never used to be disease. Oh, right, okay. So I've basically just hit maximum research by the looks of that. Research points. Yeah, 300. Where do I go? Kind of want medical, really. But then tech printing would get me surface exploration and life support. Okay, you just had a failure. Somebody had a failure there. Which is a thing that can happen, isn't it, Tim?
Yep.
If it were you, would you medical or would you tech print? If it was you.
See, I'd probably go tech print.
Okay.
Start opening that up. Then, yeah. And then other than that, just kind of continue doing what you're doing as far as starting to get the kitchen set up. Start maybe migrating over to some rooms for stuff.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. No. Okay, how do I get? No. I've got to remember how to do that. There it is.
Let's see, Fox Prime, which his suggestions are probably going to be way better than mine.
Fishing.
suggest fishing. Start building up fish and algae supplies.
How much have I actually got left on research? I'm nearly there.
Oh, I mean, you're cranking. Yeah, I mean, you got a scientist going. They're blazing away on some research.
But obviously, I'm gonna need certain recipes eventually, like fried fish. And obviously, that needs power and water.
And also, Pure Pavan says, I think that researching the generator will be a priority, which I don't disagree. I mean,
No.
having the generator at some point is going to be good because then you can get off of the. Well, you still want some EMGs for some backup. But
Yeah,
but obviously the solid fuel generators generate a lot more power. So also that means
I'm gonna need
thinking
biofuel.
about mining up more anthracite.
Yeah. Which is the purple material.
No.
Got a little bit there.
Anthracite is black.
Oh no, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're thinking about
Azurite.
azurite, which is for copper.
It's
Yeah, that's what happens with me getting fancy with using
names.
with real mineral names.
Glad you didn't make it too complicated.
And azurite is blue in nature, even though the resulting copper that is gained from it is not.
No.
Don't forget, you can copy and paste storage settings.
Yeah. I need to get that. I need to get that fuel generator. That stuff. So much arrowhead. Okay, another failure. Stone, some there. Problem is, I'm gonna need, I need to. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Right, so either technician or the robot's done that. Hematite, hematite, whatever.
I don't know what the correct pronunciation of that is. I mean, I personally usually say hematite, but I don't know.
Hmm. I think I only used a solid generator in one game. I kept running out of power. My usual base ends up with 46 EMGs.
And you are correct. It is hematite. I just looked it up.
Is it?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
It is hematite. Hematite.
Hmm.
Good job.
It's a change because I'm not usually right about stuff, am I?
Well, sometimes, you know.
Okay. So what are you waiting on? Steel. What's on the construction queue? Just the water pump. Go away. A minute. Construction queue. I haven't even got into the. There's no point.
In chat, Fox Prime says, I think I only used the solid generator in one game and I kept running out of power.
Yeah, that's what I just said
my
before.
usual base ends up with 46 EMGs.
Hmm.
A lot of EMGs.
Yeah.
Oh, but in fairness, I've seen that setup because he's sent me test saves. So
Yeah.
so I've seen the mass array of EMGs.
It's figuring out here. The worrying thing is going to be how much anthracite is alright, I'm just gonna say coal. How much coal is down here? Right.
Yeah, and the thing that can be helpful there is setting up, like, when you get to the point of like the solid fuel generator, setting up a storage container dedicated specifically to store anthracite.
Yeah. So why are you? Okay, that's one. Because everybody's asleep. And it's just the robots. And the storage. The storage can't be full. So why are you guys? Why aren't you hauling then? Okay. Slightly confused about that one.
Who's not hauling?
The robots. Because that's jobs, their jobs are in second priority. Or is that...
Go to your storage containers. Can you just check the allowed on the storage containers?
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta wait for the screen to catch up so I can see it.
Maybe I hadn't selected stuff to be allowed. Yeah, I hadn't. On some of them I hadn't allowed. No. Okay, that's...
So yeah, you can hit that top right toggle button to just do all if you want.
I thought I set them all to...
No, you open them and just hit apply without changing anything. But that looks like a bit of a thing, because that should continue to show an icon to show that it's not, that it's like set with nothing in it. So
Because I set them to allow all the stuff. Yeah, because it had the little ring.
well, from what I remember, I remember you opening them and just hitting apply without clicking any additional buttons. And by default, it's set to allow nothing.
Okay. Why? Did I not just? I'm confused because did I not just set them? Does that not stay highlighted then?
Good.
Select all, apply. But if I go into here, and then go into allowed types, that one stayed. That one stayed.
Weird.
That one stayed. But I'm sure I've had to do this more than once to... There, apply.
Yeah, and that one stayed. I don't know, that's weird. But you get haulers coming in, moving stuff now anyway.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm sure I clicked apply there. Right, they can move that. Fine, they can do that in a minute. Tidy up. Right, you've got that. What have I got? Recipe-wise. Excuse me, hardened for... Oh, that's all that. The colonist equipment stuff, I remember them. And the machine equipment. I need to start doing rooms. Was I? Fair enough. Yes. Oh. Where... Did I just have a cave-in? I'm guessing I did. Where did that happen?
If you click on the event, it'll bring it to it. Left click.
Wrong button. No. The only place for the cabin would be probably down. Okay. I did left click it, and it didn't do it.
Let's see, playing catch up here. So Piro Pravan asks if I remember some of his bases with hundreds of data servers, and yes, I do. I had forgotten about that, but yeah, I do recall getting some saves from you that a lot of data servers. Fox Prime, you can start with miners doing exploratory digs one wide. Space 2 apart will reveal the entire map, mostly safely.
Need to think about. Just gonna drag that across there. No.
Oh, and Fox Prime says, I think it's the backwards C to the left of the kitchen area, I think is what he's referring to as far as where the cave-in occurred.
thought you always saw rubble though when a cave-in happened, or did you change that?
No, you'll see rubble, but if you're not looking in the area where the cave-in occurs.
I need to get some pillows. Right, got that much of that much minerals, a lot of potatoes, a lot of structural resin, sand, bioplastic, copper, hemp. Not a lot of hemp right now. Alright, okay. Somebody's feeling depressed again. Maybe I do need to get bedrooms. Thinking cap. So why am I struggling for... Am I struggling for iron? Right now? I am. That would explain why I'm not getting anywhere fast. Okay. There's 2 bits. Need to have a look around as well. No, not gather mine. If I took that away, might cause a cave-in. It might. Obviously, I know you got to wait for it to go through. What have we got down here?
Let's see. Fox Prime asks, does sleeping in bedrooms reduce stress? As far as I know, yes. There's an additional bonus for sleeping in a room.
Check a pull. Because the way this is laid out, could I make a bedroom there? Could I make bedrooms here? See, I'm questioning myself now. But if I'm gonna... Where's the... Driftbot's level 2 hauler. And obviously we're at the max science points right now.
Yep.
Decorations, wall signs, wall posters, sleeping mat. Yeah, because I haven't got the bedroom stuff unlocked, have I? Why I can't look at it? That's what I want. Because I don't need a lot for that. I always do. Actually, I'll unlock recreation as well. Power storage isn't going to help right now. You can safely have an 8x8 area without caving. That's handy to know.
Yep.
Oh, that also takes water as well, and it needs hardened.
As far as I know, it should be, as far as the internal space, should work with a 9x9, but I don't know. I may or may not have changed that at some point.
A dedicated space for your colonists to play dead for a while.
I mean, it's a great activity, you know, just laying down, playing dead, you know.
So what I do is basically put a wall there. I'm trying to do this very carefully to plan this out. There's no planning tool either. But in reference to something different. 9x9 ends up with 1 or 2 unspaced spaces in the center, according to Fox Prime.
Okay. Good to know. I learn something new about this game all the time.
I mean, does that not seem weird to you that...
Well, your crops are diseased. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah. That's because I didn't space them.
Yeah.
First physical spread if not cleared. Okay. Let's basically clear and then deconstruct these. Let's move. Start moving these. Where is... So it's got to basically like that then. When it catches up.
Waiting. Yeah, so if you just space them out by 1, yeah.
Right, so... Oh, they finally finished the water pump, okay. So let's go... Potato...
Yeah, Fox Prime does mention that there is the move tool on objects, so you can click select an object in the bottom button bar. There's a little move button, so you can move stuff instead of deconstruct and reconstruct. That works for most everything except for walls and doors and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't think that. Alright, you need to be potato, you need to be hemp, and you need to be hemp, you need to be potato, and you need to be hemp. Okay, I'll set that up without causing an issue. Is that? Yeah. I was waiting to see if it was finished.
So Fox Prime, for some reason, it doesn't let you move the elevator. Yeah, pretty much anything that's like structural, you can't move.
I remember the way back when you used to have the
What?
That was lucky.
What?
I remember when you used to have the start off with the elevator, then you had to repair it originally.
Yeah. Way back when you used to start there was a, and I don't even remember how many versions back ago that was, but yeah, at some point, and that was pretty much the way the game was first available in early access, it started out that way, where you had you had 3 starting little rooms.
Yeah.
Of one with that already had the elevator, one that had like a utility room, and then another one the production room. So and it started with like the biorefiner and some other stuff, and yeah, that way back when used to be the way the game started. So, and as Chris knows, I also we've talked about this before, where during development the O2 generator was put in because I had plans for implementing it, and the O2 generator was put in early on, and then it got taken back out because it was just like I ended up kind of back burnering some of it, so I ended up taking back out for like the longest time, and then finally the O2 generator got put back in.
Cool.
And given some proper function.
Yeah, it was used. If that robot could zap you, he would zap you for that. He was charging. Leave him alone. That's not fair.
Yeah, I just got up with that, and then the robot immediately just gets off and starts repairing the charge station.
Yeah.
Right.
Robots
just making our lives better.
I would agree to that, but I don't know.
At least in this reality, anyway.
In this reality, yes. Is it worth starting to start growing the spores?
Oh, the arrowhead fungus? Yeah, it is a better food source.
Okay. Not really planned on spacing these out, have I? They're just random.
So yep, Fox Prime says that they're better until you start cooking. So the raw arrowhead fungus is a better food source than raw potatoes.
Yeah.
So if you're making the cooked potatoes,
I haven't actually started cooking yet.
So yeah, I know you get the stuff set up, but I know you haven't really quite started cooking.
I want to see which one. And what are you? Has anybody got? Oh yeah, like a robot could cook. Oh, you're my surveyor, aren't you? I don't need you there. You've got 26.
So, and arrowhead fungus is used in some of the cooking recipes and can be an organic source of fish food and bio-waste.
Yeah. That's a problem. You've only got 17. Put you there. Put, where? I don't know if I actually selected. Did I select anything? Yeah, I did that time. Right. So. It's gonna be a ball. Another question for you is, how did you come up with the idea
Very carefully.
for this game?
So actually, the funny little story is that the original idea for Mercury Fallen started as a prototype called originally Cryopod, and the original design of the game was actually focused more around having a directly controllable character and not be a colony management. It was going to be you'd have control over a character, and the goal was that you've awoken from cryostasis and the facility's fallen to ruin, and you go through a process of having to gather materials and basically try to repair stuff. And through the process of repairing certain things, it gives you access to other damaged sections of the facility, and so on and so forth. Anyway, during development and playing around with it, it ended up somehow migrating into a colony management game. And yeah, so that's so the original design was not necessarily even that. But I love colony management games. I've spent a lot of time over the years building colony management games. Or did I say building? I meant playing colony management games. And yeah, so it made sense. It was like, okay, well, because I think it's important, if you can, especially as a solo developer, if you're making a game, ideally making something that you enjoy as a game player is pretty important.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just started migrating over to colony management and playing around with some ideas, and yeah, it evolved into Mercury Fallen.
And then, here you are now with the 1.0 release.
So, and for a little bit of background, Mercury Fallen is not necessarily my first game dev project either. It's the first solo developed project and the first project that I've released on Steam. But I started. I'm gonna date myself a little bit here, but I started Nitrous Butterfly, the company that I develop under. That's my company. I originally created that company in 2004, and it was me and a buddy of mine at the time. We started working on video game. We had originally some grandiose design idea for a game that was just way above our means, and then we realized, okay, we need to scale back, and so we created a top-down space shooter called Soul Survivor, and which we released. And it was around that time, because we used like a game maker type of app to make that, and it was around that time I started getting more serious into programming, and so we released that to not a lot of fanfare, and then we followed it up with kind of another top-down shooter called Alien Defense, and Alien Defense used a custom game engine that I had built for that project. And yeah, and then after that, because neither one of those was terribly successful. He had, wife, kids, that kind of thing, and so he had to kind of focus on other things. So after that, I met Willow. Her and I worked on Nuvera Online, which is a basically like Second Life. It's a social virtual world, and it again, I was Willow focused a lot on some of the art assets, as well as working on kind of marketing and kind of the social aspects, interfacing with people on that one, and so I coded up the infrastructure for an online virtual world. And we did that for about 8 years, and then finally had to close the doors because, yeah, I mean, as far as the project goes, I think we were successful in creating something. We just were not necessarily successful in maintaining a large enough audience to really sustain it. So, um, and yeah, so I know it was sometime after that that I started solo developing MF, and yeah, so yeah, so it's my first you know first game on Steam, but far from my first programming project or art project.
Which, I mean, like I said, to be fair, when I first got my hands on it on itch, it wasn't rough as some of the games that you do see at times.
Well, it was fair enough, but it was definitely a lot rougher than it is now.
Yeah, but it wasn't as messy as it could have been.
Oh, sure. But, and but part of the reason I released on itch.io first is because itch.io is a great place for smaller teams and solo devs to kind of put out a project, and at that early stage of development where things can be a little messy and not necessarily polished up, to see if there's potential in the design. Is this something people are even interested in a little bit? And so when I put it out on Itch, yeah, people seem to show some interest, and that was definitely encouraging to and spend 6 months and really polish things up to put it on Steam for early access, and then of course from there continue to add more content and further polish and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah.
Because I did, like I said, I did send you the screenshot of when I first got it on itch. It was a long time ago. That, like I said to you, that's where I first discovered that other game that we spent so much time playing.
So
did I not put
yeah.
Oh, I didn't, did I? Okay. Do that. Do that, and then that's what do. Random, but hey ho. Right. What have we got? I'm just trying to get materials without causing myself injury.
Well, that's always good. I mean, you don't want to fall down getting materials.
Alright, okay, I'm still waiting for iron. I am looking around for iron. Wish I would be able to see things.
Looks like you got some on the east side of the map, or it's hard to tell if that's just like in the ground or on the surface, but on the right side it looks like you got maybe some surface level iron as well.
Is that iron? That's iron as well. Get rid of that actually. This area's coming out anyways. It's that. No.
Let's see. Rasmus, yeah, says it is no longer recommended to just mine the entire map.
So
You can
is
do that if you want. That's entirely up to you. But cave-ins can certainly happen.
yeah. That would have been an older strategy of mine. But
Yeah.
it takes.
Well, and I mean, you can still
forever.
do mining tunnels. So if you do the or branch mining to uncover more of the unexplored area, should net you some.
That's what I'm sort of doing. Sand. What I've sort of been doing in terms of just like a long mining tunnel. So it's just basically, let's see,
So Fox Prime says he mines out the entire map, but just need to make sure that you build the support matrix to prevent cave-ins. Which once again, yes, he's provided me with save files for testing purposes, and I can confirm, yeah, there is a very tidy, organized matrix of wall pieces. Nice, it looks good.
which, yeah. The one thing that used to gets me when I start playing on larger maps is I haven't done it here, which I'm very surprised at myself at. Is normally I like to square things off a bit. So where I've got the whole really. Was that just a random thing then?
What happened?
Crop disease.
Yep. You'll still get crop disease. It's just spacing them out means that it doesn't spread to adjacent fields.
Okay, so it was hemp. Yeah, power is not good right now. That's why I'm trying to get this other generator built.
Yeah, I'm always interested watching other people play, whether it's like my game, Colony Management, or just colony management games in general. Because I always feel I tend to play colony management games like really slowly. Like I just kind of nickel and dime my way through progression.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'll watch other people play, and it's just like, bam, they got this, bam, they got that. You know, like they just kind of just gobble up big sections, and then you know. But yeah, I don't know. I tend to. I don't know. Personally, I just always feel like I'm always playing them fairly slowly. But there's no right or wrong way to play as long as you're having fun.
No, because usually, like with this game and other buildy types, I tend not to rush them because if I start rushing, I tend to make mistakes.
Yeah, same.
Or I'll back myself into a corner that you can't really get out of.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, also, I found myself with age, I don't know. I just don't speed through stuff the way I used to. Because I used to play, excuse me, the RTS games, real-time strategy games. And a lot of those really require fast pace, you know. And even if you're doing single player, they ramp up a lot to where it's like, especially by later in the game, you just gotta like slam stuff together and build really quickly, and but especially if you're doing PvP, like you really gotta do things quickly. And I just,
Oh yeah.
I definitely struggle with that. And because and part of the reason why I got out of playing RTS games in general is just I ended up just finding them too stressful. I'd get stressed out. I'm just like, come on, I just want to build my base. Come on, like I don't want to, suddenly get attacked by stuff and get completely wiped out. So, which I suppose is part of the reason, MF is a little bit more laid back. It's like at your own pace, progression, exploration, building stuff up at your own pace, and but it definitely allows for people to play different different ways. You can go as fast or as slow as you want to.
Yeah. Fox Prime said, how long does it take people to get to the surface? For him, or for them, it's generally 100 to 150 days. In-game days.
Which is in-game days, just to clarify.
Yeah.
So we're currently on day 17. So, but yeah, most likely we probably will not get to the surface today during this playthrough. But just so everybody knows, there is a whole second part of the game, which is surface exploration, building vehicles, and all that fun. And there is a bit of a campaign story and data logs and stuff, which we won't really go into detail here. Let people explore those themselves.
Oh, I didn't want that. Or did I? In ages. Assembly level. I did need this. Why did I second guess myself?
I don't know. Fox Prime clarifies and says that he meant real days, of course.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it takes him at least 2,400 hours to get to the surface for each playthrough. So you must have tens of thousands of game hours in this game now, Prime.
I actually don't even know how many hours I've actually ever spent in this game. To be honest, probably a fair amount of time as well. Not as much time as you, of course. You'll have the most hours in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a whole bunch of hours on my Steam profile, but that is only relevant to when I added Steam integration into MF. So, because even when I'm developing, when I'm doing playtests and stuff, it usually connects me into Steam and starts recording time. So I have just with that, I have 4,736.3 hours in MF. But obviously that does not, is not probably the total time of development. That'd be nice, man. That only took me 5,000 hours. So Prime says he's got 1,200 something hours. That goes directly against your real days. The 100 real days would be 2,400 hours. So, but maybe he's playing it offline. That's probably it. He was playing it offline, so it didn't count the Steam hours.
To be honest, like I say, even the amount of time I've actually put into this game, which is what, about just under 140 hours, which is I know that's not a lot of hours, but I feel, I do feel though I have and still get my money's worth out of this game, because it's a game I can pick up, I can put down, you know, I can go away from, I can come back to, and or I can just sit there for hours and play the game. I mean, there used to be sessions at a time I was spending 4 or 5 hours sat on this game, just playing it.
I mean, I've sat 4 to 5 hours developing it. I count.
Well, yeah, you probably done more hours in a day.
Yeah,
But
probably.
It is a game you can start playing and then, you know, you can start playing and then you can, I don't know, let's say you start playing at lunchtime, and it's like, you look at your watch or something like that and it's like, oh, is it really that time? You know, where's the day gone, sort of thing.
It's true.
Because you get sort of.
No, it's always, you know, I mean, you know, you always get that, like, one more thing, right? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll, you know, place this, or I'll just do this, or I'll just do that, you know?
Yeah, you seem to get lost. Or it's a type of game where you can sit there playing, but yet, I don't know, you have a YouTube video or something on, and on another monitor or something, and you know,
Yeah.
you can sort of have that on in the background while you play the game.
Yeah, which is great. You know, I really love games like that, where you just, you know, you can kind of, little tasks, just zone out, you know, watch or listen to some stuff while playing. So, Rasmus is asking why uneven spacing between the support pillars. I don't know, just because.
I have no idea why, really.
So, well, because he's just throwing them down willy nilly.
I'm not that kind of. I don't want to upset anybody by saying clinical, really, but I've said it now. There's not a lot of thought.
Yeah, by not saying it, you said it.
I know.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of thought going into pillar spacing, because, I mean, knowing my luck, I'll have thought about a. I don't get that. Yeah, I get that, but it'd be like I say, if it was you playing, then I'd understand how you do it, and people play differently, I guess.
It's all good.
Can I do this without? My goodness, I've caused myself issues here. So what would you recommend the size of a bedroom to be for your colonists?
Well, I mean, you know, the beds have to be spaced out, and I mean, technically the beds themselves are 2x1, but you gotta space them out. You know, so I don't know.
Apparently.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that area that you're clearing out right now, if you just turn that into bedroom.
That's what that was the plan.
Yeah.
Apparently.
That's a good start on a bedroom anyway.
I found another.
The robot.
Another robot.
Sweet.
Apparently. Do I have to thinking of putting a door like the wall? It has to be. Oh right, no, okay, so that's strange. Is it wall space door? I never remember because I never really use them.
Yeah, you have to put the walls down before you put the door down, so you just have to have a space between two wall pieces.
Right, so you're cooking. That reminds me, did I set that up on storage? Confused now. I am really confused here.
What's up?
Where does cooked food get stored now then?
Cooked food gets stored in the food dispenser.
Ah, right, okay.
Unlock fine dining for that.
Oh, right, okay. So that's like... there. Okay, fair enough. That confuses me and all for the life support, but I know what that is. That's for the cap, isn't it? That's the colony cap.
Yep.
Which...
So Fox Prime says you might want to consider multiple smaller bedrooms, easier to get higher decision values. And then he corrects that to decoration cakes. And then he says, stupid autocorrect, decoration values. I like decoration cakes. I could go for a decoration cake. That sounds yummy.
Yeah. So I haven't got my botanist and my cook, have I? No, they're two separate people, that's fine. So where is my engineer? Oh wait, my engineer is my cook. My highest level engineer is my cook.
Whoopsie.
Well, that didn't work. I'm just gonna put you as my engineer. So what's that there? Just an item container. Okay, so you guys are basically mining out the building. Let's... What do you say the bed was? Bed to two, is it? Bed to two?
By one?
The bed size? Did you say 2 by 2?
2 by 1?
2 by 1. So only single beds, eh?
Yep, there's no shacking up in MF.
So let's get the mining. get this mined out. Right, so now will you let me put a door? Yeah, you will let me put a door there. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Something tells me I'm not. No, because that's just if I do it.
So?
I was just trying to basically look at planning on the bedroom size, and then it's like, yeah, well, if I do that, it's gonna be like a single, like, prison cell type look. Okay, got an idea. It's fine, got an idea. I'll let you go back to doing what you were doing.
Fox Prime says, I do bedrooms that are 3x8, internal spaces with 3 beds along the wall, nightstands in between wall, dark areas on the wall, and bookcases at the end. So, so Fox Prime, you're still doing nightstands, not display cases?
20.
I mean, the last few saves I saw was display cases abound, which is a new decoration object in 1.0.
What's that in the middle? It's probably something I've not got, isn't it, under a recipe? For the space, for the elevator construction.
Elevators under utility.
Yeah, but do I not need microchips for that?
I don't know. I mean, it'll show in the build queue.
I haven't placed it down yet.
Or not in the build queue, but in the build menu. If you hover over on the right, it'll say what its requirements are.
Yeah, it needs power. That's 7. Let's put it.
So Foxworm says bedrooms I use nightstands for light. That's good.
But you can have lighting, can't you? Standing lamps and stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, the nightstands are kind of, they're designed for the bedroom.
Hence why they were called a nightstand.
So, and the smaller bedroom requires less decoration to get to max efficiency. Because rooms are enclosed spaces with a door and flooring, and rooms have efficiency score, which is based on decor and lighting. And the efficiency score affects various things depending on the room. So it'll affect success chance for rooms that produce stuff like science or biorefiner, the smelter, or whatever. So you can boost the success chance that way by having it in a room. And success chances are often are reduced when not in a room. So more likelihood of failures, which makes colonists longer to do stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm gonna have to replan these rooms out. I knew I had originally, which doesn't help. So I basically need to take that away, take that away, take. I'm gonna risk a chance for caving, but I'll resort this out in a minute. Right, you need to go 1, 2. That will go there, yeah, because it's not got a wall. Yep. I get you had failed. Guess you had failed to create that. What to look at? Problem is, this happens to me all the time. I start doing something and then I get distracted by something.
Yeah. It's
And this is
that's
what I
usually the way
wanted
I
to
play.
check.
Well, I mean, you and I often play a lot of automation games.
Yeah.
You know how easy I get friggin' distracted from working on one thing to, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, work on this, and then I'm working on like, 5 ideas down the road without getting to the first thing. And some electronics going.
Yeah, because that's what's needed for the elevator. I know I need the hardened structure resin and the steel, which... Okay, where's it? Oh, it is. Okay, so that's fine. It is under the craft below. So. I did wonder that. I've sent you something to look on Discord later on. Once we're done. Tonight.
Oh.
It's quite interesting actually. Failed to craft bioplastic.
Try harder, colonists. Do your job.
Oh, I put the wall in the wrong place there. So what was your original what would you say your first ever prototype was like of this game?
It's actually kind of funny to see what is the same in some ways. Because obviously, like artwork-wise, there's a lot of things that have changed. Over the course of development. I think what's interesting is to see what hasn't changed.
Yeah.
One of which is the biorefiner.
Was that never
The
changed?
texture on the biorefiner, I think, went through a slight change, but the biorefiner overall was actually a machine that was implemented really early on in development and hasn't changed. Same with the cook station. The cook station was actually developed during very, very early on, and I think might have undergone a slight texture change, but largely is the same.
Okay.
And so that's kind of interesting, to see kind of what hasn't changed, because actually the texture for the kitchen floor is actually original too. But yeah, during early prototyping, some of the initial rooms was basically, which I suppose is standard fare for a colony management game, was kitchen floor, the hallway floor, of course, the utility floor, and then like production floor was like some of the early prototype type of rooms. But during prototype and actually much into early access, rooms didn't actually have a functional purpose for a long time. You could build rooms, you could build walls and doors and stuff, but they didn't really have a functional purpose other than aesthetically, having things set up. And I mean, the walls have certainly changed a lot, because technically, I suppose the original art style for the game was actually supposed to be much more simplistic.
Well, I'm sure I remember the walls originally was didn't they have a lot of like a LED line across around them?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then
So the walls originally were the only thing that would actually dictate a kind of room wall originally was because they were pretty much just flat metal gray with a colored strip of lighting along the kind of midline of the wall, and that was the different color of the light dictated what type of room it was. That was really the only difference between rooms, and it looked very Tronish.
It did
early on.
It did.
Oh yeah,
I do remember. I do remember the walls. Like
and I know there were some people when I changed the walls up. There were some people that were disappointed because they liked that look, and which hey, that's fair. Everybody's got a certain look, but I guess when I first started MF, I think the art style I was going for was that kind of more simplistic, low poly type of art style, which was popular at the time and still has its popularity. And but I just couldn't do it. Just as an artist, I just could not wrap my brain around it because I kept wanting to add more detail. And so finally, I was just like, no, I can't do it. That's not an art style that my brain wants to handle as an artist. So, so I kind of went back to what I'm more comfortable with, which is something a little bit more like detailed and and shiny and pretty.
Yeah.
So, but I think one of the biggest design challenges for the game is the fact that it's underground.
Yeah.
Because being underground means obviously there's no like natural light. But at the same time, you don't want it too dark. It needs to have some semblance of being underground. So I don't know. It's always challenging. I mean, and the original design idea definitely took cues from games like Dungeon Keeper, and Dungeon Keeper 2, which has that kind of underground building design. So, because I was a huge fan of Dungeon Keeper 2.
I know we have had discussions about that.
Yeah.
Big machine is that?
You need the operations floor.
Oh yeah, wrong floor. Which I mean that's kind of thinking resources there, but I got that. Oh, it's there. I don't know if I don't think I need that big, but I'm just gonna put that down and then I'll get rid of the rest. I really need that other power generator. Cause have I got no? Yeah. Right, why? Okay, why did you do that, UI? You supposed to stay up there? Or is that because I clicked something?
I don't know, what are you doing?
Well, when I change the recipe tab, I'm still seeing like the recreation tab sit there off the research.
Well, I mean, you will until you click on something else under a different tab.
Alright, okay, fair enough. Did I need some... supposed to look at that? I never did. Oh, bioplastic, steel, and electronics, that's fine. It was the... why did I go in the research again? Oh, it was recipes. Biofuel, that's what I wanted.
So Fox Prime said biggest reason he started playing Robot Uprising was starting with a driller bot to be able to get those early resources out of the floor.
Yeah, for your deep.
Deep mining. Yep, the deep driller for the deep mining.
Yeah. That's that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Why are they showing him? I've just answered my own question there. So it seems my colony is very female orientated.
Yep.
Access point for items that are needed on the surface. They're new. To me, anyways. The shipping and receiving boxes.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
So, what made you decide to do planet side?
That was actually a design choice pretty early on. The end result of planet exploration turned into way more than I originally designed for. 'Cause, that's just what I do. And so the original idea of the planet side content was more just sending off some expeditions and, just a means of having, sending colonists off as maybe part of story progression and, just coming back with some resources and type of thing. And the original design was more to just have it simply just like a flat 2D map with just some POIs that you can just kind of be like, bam, send some people out to that, call it a day. And but during development, it just kept getting a bit grander. And then my original design for a 2D map turned into a 3D map. And my original design for, just kind of randomly sending out, colonists to POIs turned into this kind of full exploration thing, and then surface mining and surface buildings and vehicles and all this other stuff, which is great. I mean, I'm glad I added that stuff. It's I think it definitely adds another layer to the game that sets MF apart from a standard colony management experience, so that you're dealing with not simply just your primary colony, but the game really opens up a second time excuse me, with that surface exploration. So because you spend a bunch of time exploring out underground, and then you kind of reach the surface, and then you spend a bunch of time exploring there and unlocking new a whole bunch of different places to explore, which opens up which is part of the story campaign, and various lore and discoveries that you can make on the surface to unlock various research. So yeah, I think it's a good value add for the game that is definitely undergone. I think the surface, to be honest with you, I think the surface content has probably undergone more overall changes in development than the underground facility in terms of the way it functions. There's been a lot of content added to the underground part of the game, but as far as really making broad changes to how it functions, not really. The underground part has largely been the same. It's just been improved upon and added upon. Surface content, on the other hand, was something that definitely required a lot more tweaking, and there was a couple of times during early access that the surface content really just got completely revamped.
Which,
and I've definitely learned a lot from that process of developing the surface side content and seeing how that really integrates, because a core part of that and a big part of the surface content was to make sure that it adds to your core facility and doesn't take away from the core facility, because the idea is that you're building this facility underground. That to me was always the important part. That was the focus, was about your people in the facility. So
yeah.
the surface was always a means of being an expansion to that serves the content underground. That to me, that was always the goal of the surface content.
Which makes sense.
I hope so. Yeah, because to me, adding too much onto the surface, like, I didn't want to distract the player too much from what they were doing underground. Like, there's definitely stuff to do up there and time spent, but to me it was, it's like another just addendum to the underground content, instead of like, okay, well, now all my focus is on the surface. Like, I wanted to make sure that your primary focus is still about your colonists.
Yeah.
Underground. Like, you hop over to the map, do some stuff there, but then you're bouncing back to underground again. You're not like sitting there spending hours on the surface. It's more of just kind of a like, okay, open up the map screen, do some stuff there. Okay, now back to my colony, type of deal. That to me was the way I wanted that experience to play out.
What's causing me trouble here?
I don't know what's up.
Am I giving them too much to do? Or have I not got enough structural resin yet again? No, I've got 91 structural resin.
So, what's your
Just wondering why nothing seems to be getting done. Well, you're my other...
you don't really have any bioplastic. Does stuff require bioplastic?
No, that needs hard construction. Apart from obviously the elevator, because that's where probably most of my bioplastic's just gone. Alright, so this is the... which was what I forgot. This is what we're on about.
Yeah.
Was the room information. So the decoration level's acceptable, then you've got your lighting level, which currently isn't any lighting level, and then the efficiency. Now...
Yeah, you might want to shuffle your headshot around. Oh, because it's top right, which kind of covers up the info panel.
Problem is where can I put it?
You can put it on bottom left. So above the bar and below the inventory.
Yeah, 2 seconds. That's not going to get rid of that, so I'm going to have to just... quickly do a bit of tweaking here. Sorry. Which, as you can tell, I wasn't prepared for a shift. There we go. Shifted. Sorry about that. Right. Anyways, going back to that. So why is there that's my question. Why is there an efficiency level on a bedroom?
So the efficiency affects like how quickly they sleep. So basically, you can almost think of efficiency for like a bedroom, almost like comfort level to a degree. So like, the more efficient it is, they'll actually sleep a little bit faster. So that way you're dealing with less downtime with them sleeping.
All right. Okay. Ooh, I need cloth and. So you're not. So you won't let me. Until I've actually got some of the ingredients, you won't actually let me queue it up. Makes sense. That's been damaged because somebody had a whack at the machine.
So yeah, your bedroom's a bit too small.
My bedrooms are too small.
Yep. Because you need space around the bed.
Oh.
It's got to be clear access space.
I forgot about that. My brain went into what do you call it? What's that other game? Where you basically have to redesign these now then. I'm out of power now. That's alright. Robots gonna charge things up. Not too bothered there's a cave in there, but I need that. We need them to get that stuff really before they lose it. It's kind of weird because they're not. I think that's why, because I think I've only actually got one hauler.
Oh yeah, I could do it.
I have. I've only got one hauler. No, I've got two haulers. Alright, well, let's take you up and put you as a hauler instead then. Well, I think it's a technician. There's nothing that you need to what's it called? Technician? No, never mind. Not even a word.
Technician?
No, I was going to say technician-size. In other words.
That's a fun word.
In other words, they've got nothing to sort out. They can just go and haul. That's weird. Okay. So you're seeing. I think you're caught up with me now. You see this wall here?
I don't know. I see a wall that is marked for deconstruction.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right hand side is normal grey, yes?
Yeah, I see that. It's not
I'm seeing yellow bits there, then it goes back to grey, then it's going back to yellow. But then
that's weird.
Like round here as well is yellow walls up the top.
Yeah. So yeah, if you unpause the game and let it play out, do those walls update correctly momentarily?
No.
So, well, I mean, when the room gets
I know it seems weird why I'm putting bedrooms.
But yeah, but it is odd. It is odd. I'll have to add that to my list.
Ah, right, yeah, okay. Yes, I see what you mean.
Oh yeah, with the bed spacing.
Yeah. That's gonna upset. Okay, so now that yeah, so the wall have changed into bedroom again. As soon as I put that wall back in.
Yeah.
But it didn't obviously recognize that before when. So if I'm gonna have to move that door.
Yeah, right. So
that,
some of the walls
door,
just didn't get updated correctly.
I'm gonna have to move that door because that door's gonna annoy me. For some bizarre reason, that door will annoy me if it's there. I want the door. I'm gonna put the door there because. See, and then it changed the wall colour there. No. I'm doing this completely the wrong way around again. That goes there. That goes, comes out of there.
On chat, Tim, your to-do list gets bigger and bigger, and yeah, it sure does. My to-do list is never ending. So.
Oh, we know that. We know that you. We know it is. Could be worse.
I could just have nothing to do.
Yeah. But then. What would you do? Just sat around twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, my big sausage thumbs. Just twiddle those. That's the running theme for today. Is my big sausage thumbs.
So how come? That's led me on to a good point.
What?
Within the game, how many food types did you originally plan to do? And what made you narrow them down to what you have now?
I don't think I really narrowed anything down. I just a lot of it depended on like crops, and I know it was there's only a certain amount of crops in the game, and that means that there's only a certain amount of potential combinations for different foods. I guess to me there's two different ways of thinking about it, and I definitely had feedback on that from different sources, which is there's like two schools of thought. One is some people just want a whole bunch of different stuff for just various options, like they just want a whole bunch of different crops and a whole bunch of different foods for the sake of having them. Then the other side, which is the side I ended up kind of leaning towards, was thinking about function. To me, like, how much different function is there? So I'm looking at it from a data entry standpoint, and that's my programmer side, I suppose, kicking in. So I'm looking at it thinking, okay, well, we have the concept with this game deals with, you have nutrition and saturation is the two primary stats of food items. So nutrition is like how much hunger does this food item decrease when I eat it, and then saturation is an internal number that determines the overall rate by which hunger will go back up. So the lower, having more saturation means that the hunger will come back more slowly. So so knowing those two factors, you want the best type of food is 100% saturation, 100% nutrition is the best possible food, right? And then of course you can have balances in between that. So you've got low to high. So from a data structure standpoint, it's like, okay, well, how many different type of foods do I need that fits within going from the lowest possible value to the best possible value? And I mean, that all just kind of depends. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, I added X amount of crops and came up with design ideas for a bunch of foods that work their way up on that scale. Yeah, it's I mean, I definitely could have had a lot more, but I don't know. To me, I didn't see a lot of value add for having a whole bunch of potential foods that are all pretty similar. From just a data standpoint.
Yeah. No, I suppose it makes sense. I was just semi-curious to why, why
sure.
you
Yeah,
only ended up with so much. Whether you whittled it down to a choice.
It's a fair question. Yeah, it's a fair question, and to me, it just came down to where the data was, and I just didn't see a lot of value add in having like a whole giant list of different types of foods that generically all kind of do the same thing. It just seemed like there'd be a lot of redundancy there with a lot of different types of foods. So with the foods I have, it just kind of incrementally gets to better and better foods that use different combinations of those items to get better and better foods. Which to me is always a bit, I suppose, a bit of a tricky bit, right? Because I think in a lot of games, there's a lot of, I mean, in general, the players themselves are also thinking about data, right? Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of players are going to think like, okay, what's the best food item that I can use, right? Like a lot of players like to min-max things, and there's different levels of that. There's those people that get crazy about it, and those people that just generically, like even myself, like I'm not a crazy min-maxer when it comes to a lot of games, but at the same time, I like to know like, well, what is the best food I could use, or what's the best item for whatever I'm trying to do. And I think the problem there is it does mean from a gameplay standpoint, there's always one answer to that. Like I think it does get tricky because so often there just ends up only being one answer. So then it's like, okay, well, if there's only one answer, you're basically just kind of, the other food items or the other items there are basically just there for some layer of progression to get to that one item.
Yeah.
Because inevitably people are just going to use that one thing, and that's it. And to me, I always wonder, and I'm always kind of looking at that with that question of like, how could you have a system that kind of better balances that in such a way to where there are advantages or disadvantages to those different types of items? And I think that that's always challenging because from a data standpoint, it does often seem like inevitably you're just going to deal with, like there's just that one best item that has the best stats, that's what you're going to, inevitably going to use.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Fox Prime says base building games are all about optimization. And that's true. But I think, again, everybody's going to play games a little bit differently, like we were talking about earlier. So, some people are definitely going to focus on that optimization. And I do too. I think sometimes, often it's my own detriment. You've been playing games with me long enough to know that I get in my own way when it comes to optimization. Yeah,
you do. You really do. So you do sometimes, anyways.
Yeah, well, a lot of times. I get in my own way because I'm in the back of my head. I'm trying to think, well, what's the best way to do this, and I struggle so much, like wanting to know that answer, that I just kind of tire my brain out from actually just enjoying the game and letting it unfold, and just because I'm trying to get it right the first time, right? And that's not really how this stuff works, nor how it should work.
No.
I mean, the idea of a good game is that you don't get it right the first time, but you enjoy the process, and it encourages you to want to do it again, so that you can figure out what the right way is, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean, a certain base builder a certain builder game that we play. I can tell, and I mean, like, for the likes of when we have done like Minecraft and stuff. Sometimes I can tell how you operate, and then other times I haven't got a clue how you operate. Your mind is very. I'd say your mind works very differently to me. To how my mind would work in that situation.
Well, that's true, but I mean, that's I think that's the great part of like video games and people in general is just there's different experiences for different people, and and different people are going to play or have different experiences when playing the same game.
Yeah. I can kind of actually agree with the whole Dwarf Fortress thing there, Fox Prime.
Yeah, so Fox Prime mentions, if you want people to use multiple items, you need those items to get required for food. That means you would need different tiers of nutrition, for example. So I mean, you'd have different foods that are good at different stats, right? Which I agree with, but then you kind of need a good system to determine, well, how do they then eat that stuff, right? So if different foods are good for different things, then you need to kind of be able to set up some sort of like menu or system by which you're telling colonists what they can and cannot eat. And then he goes on to say, take that to an extreme and you end up with Dwarf Fortress. Absolutely. Dwarf Fortress, is, as far as wanting to micromanage colony management and base building. Yeah, Dwarf Fortress is where it's at. Pure Prevent says, did you ever play Craft the World? Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed Craft the World. That's definitely a fun little experience.
I never did.
For those that haven't played it, it's 2D side view game, side scroller type of thing, and again, base building, colony management with dwarves. But it's you build up, you mine your way down underground, mine resources, build a building structure on top with rooms, and manage your dwarves with different foods and stuff. And the way they kind of dealt with food was the idea you did have different like stats for foods and stuff like that, and you had the food tables and you have to put the food on the table, and more specifically, so that's the food that they would kind of eat, is what you put on the table for them to eat, which was that was definitely an interesting way to do things, and that definitely was a fun game. I like the way they set up a lot of that game.
No.
And Fox Prime says he's played it as well. Does the same thing in every game, so I haven't played it. Play it once in a while. And to be honest with you, I'm horrible at replaying games because I just, no matter what the game is, I have a tendency to not play it again differently, even though I try. I'm big into this is a bit of a divergence, but I'm big into role playing games and Bethesda games like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Skyrim, and stuff like that. And especially with the Fallout games, especially in Fallout 3, you've got the whole karma system by which you can kind of be a good guy or a bad guy. And there's a lot of games that have played around with that idea of, good guy, bad guy type of things. And I don't know what I can't play a bad guy in games. Now, if the game is all about me being a bad guy, doing bad things, I got no problem with that. But if the game gives me a choice, like you can be Paragon or you can be evil, I'm going to be Paragon every time. Because I'm going to fail, and I've tried playing these games the evil route, and I can only get so far, and I'm just like, man, I know I can't do that. That's just... And then I just end up... The best I can do is neutral. So I have a tendency, with most games to just inevitably do things the same way every time, because that's just the way I want to do them. So replay value for me on a lot of games doesn't always mean a whole lot.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, because I'm a little bit different. I can do the bad roles, but it depends what game. If it comes to like Fallout 4, no, that I mean, it's like Cyberpunk was the same in terms of the way you sometimes could choose with that, and it's like, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, Sparrow says on chat, I always want to play a bad guy, then I start feeling bad after treating NPCs poorly. And yeah, that's what happens to me. Like they're not real people; they're fake people. They don't exist. But yeah, I end up feeling bad. Like I'll get to a certain point, I'm just like, oh man, I can't do that. That's just mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I did in Fallout 3, without giving too much away, there's a choice in one part of the game where you can blow up Megaton, and I have gone both ways on that. There I did do a playthrough where I blew up Megaton, and I felt really bad about it. But but I did it.
I didn't.
Fox Prime says the only time I like being evil is building the vomit comets in Roller Coaster Tycoon, then charging for bathrooms. And okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll go with that. I can that is an evil that I can absolutely get behind.
Done that.
That and that in the Sims games.
Yeah.
Doing mean things to the Sims in the Sims games.
Like I say, I've been there, done that with the whole Roller Coaster Tycoon series, like not series, but Roller Coaster Tycoon games. That's the nostalgia trip right there. It's the first games I ever owned. But I do obviously have got the successors and stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, that gives me some more
Yeah, I never got into the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. I didn't really catch on to that franchise until Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and that was because of Willow. Willow got me into playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
So if that was Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, then that was the Frontier era. That wasn't the original Chris Sawyer era, which obviously that was like 1999.
Yeah, you were an original fan. Yeah, you watched them play the clubs. But the
dear. Why is nothing getting done around here?
And Willow says, I did. Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, she got me into Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, stuff is getting done finally. I was gonna say, did she get you into the expansions as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like that.
And the expansions were a lot of fun. I mean,
I
played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Still have it on disc. I have them all on disc, the expansions.
And as you're saying on chat, also got me into RuneScape as well, which is true.
Don't know. Don't think that. I mean, I suppose, obviously, with you being a developer as well, you've had to explore a lot of different game genres to be able to think, well, eventually, if I want to do something, what path am I going to go down?
I mean, I guess I don't strictly have to, but
No.
it certainly helps, for sure. And yeah, I've played. I mean, I like a lot of different type of games, and I've played a lot of different type of games over the years. Everything from first-person shooters to MMOs and role-playing games and strategy games and base-building games, and so yeah, I mean, I've definitely played a lot of different type of games over the years. The only games I never really got into were stuff like sports games and rhythm games. Never got into like the
DDRs, Dance Dance Revolutions and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. I never got into. So, of course, I haven't really gotten into the new like dating sim genre either. So
there was some.
Down in the bottom hallway there. I don't know if you noticed. There's kind of a light coming from one of the walls.
For a moment, I did think that was just my eyes, but yes, there is.
No, that's a hidden stasis capsule in there, buried in the dirt. So
I do like the way the characters run. Really, the problem is I know that I really should put pathways, but I haven't got the materials to do the pathways, but I really should just kind of... Wow, now there's a blast from the past.
Yeah, Parappa the Rappa. I never got into that one either back in the day.
Oh, I did. Papa the Rapper and the sequel wasn't as good. That's what I found that wasn't great. But yeah. Well, I was kind of hoping to get onto the surface, but I don't think I'm gonna.
No, I could take a bit. But I mean, it's fun setting up the rooms and starting. We're starting to get a little bit of structure, at least with the bedrooms, anyway.
Yeah. Finally, when I get organized, but this is what always happens to me. Is I'll always spread everything out. Is that just me being oversensitive with that at times? Don't know if you're not going to be able to see that now.
Probably not.
Sometimes when I'm hovering over something, and I'm sort of mustn't be on the pixel, it's actually causing it to do it more than once on the.
Well, yeah, if you get right on that edge, yeah, sometimes I've seen that in other games too.
Yeah.
Like
just
because because the graphic expands.
Mm.
When you do that, it can cause you can get it to get into this weird infinite loop where it just kind of like flickers.
Yeah. But what I'm looking at this decoration tab, that would help, wouldn't it? I might as well set up another room just in case. Here's a question for you, actually. If you were playing a game personally, what is your favourite genre to play?
Oof. I'll start out by saying that the word favorite is something I tend to be allergic to.
Oh, I know. That's why I used it on purpose.
I know. Oh man. Um,
All right, then. What's your go-to genre then?
yeah. Okay. I don't know. If I had to say favorite, I mean, I guess I'll go with the genre that I tend to get most excited by, which is usually, open world exploration RPGs. Are games I think that probably I get most excited about. So I will say, like probably many other people, I am very excited about Starfield coming up, and part of that's nostalgia because I do, regardless of without going into detail. I'm a big fan of the Bethesda style of presentation, and so I think for me, one of the things I enjoy most in games is probably exploration, and that's one thing that I find in those Bethesda RPGs that they do really well is building spaces that are fun to explore.
Yes and no. If I'm honest.
Well, you asked what my opinion was. So
I asked your
it can't be a
opinion.
No.
I did ask your opinion. No, it's just.
I know. I'm just teasing you. It's just the way you said that.
Bethesda is. They are good at what they do. I just think sometimes certain little dungeons, well, need a bit of work. Well,
oh sure.
Sorry, companion
there's always
companion derpiness when it comes to the is it the railroaders in 4?
Yeah, the railroad.
Yeah, and whatever he's called, I never remember his name. That's how. Is it Deacon?
Deacon.
Yeah. That's just. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to seeing what Starfield's going to bring to the table.
Oh, say, but I don't, but Bethesda titles have always been
jank
when it comes to companions. Always. But what's hilarious to me, and Willow just commented saying Fallout 3 and Skyrim were our kryptonite. Absolutely. We played a lot of that back in the day, and she, I think, is going to enjoy this story. Is with Skyrim, of course, the go-to companion for most people, because you got this companion early in the game, and I think a lot of people ended up just sticking with this companion, was Lydia, and it was, and the companion AI is so derpy that you spent, at least myself, I spent most of the time just yelling at Lydia, and because she would just be so stupid about getting from point A to point B. She'd constantly set off traps, trying to sneak into camp and or sneak into this area, and she's sneaking perfectly fine behind me, and then all of a sudden, just as I'm like ready to like shoot this arrow from the shadows, she goes running past me into combat, like setting everybody off, and it's like, oh my god. But for all of my complaint about the game, at one point I'm wandering around and she's not behind me. Somewhere along the line I lost her. I don't know how, I don't know why. I don't know if it's a bug in the game, whatever. She's gone. And I can't continue. I have to track her down.
But you
like
don't
know. It was like the worst possible thing that happened. I spent all the time complaining about her, but the second she was gone, I felt lost. I was like, well shit, I can't play the game now. I don't have Lydia. Oh man. But yeah, it turned out fine. I did manage to track her down and I was able to continue, but So Fox Prime says his favorites are building and automation. Currently, Factorio is the closest to best.
Ooh.
And Chris and I definitely have spent many hours in Factorio.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you went back and started messing with some Grastorio, didn't you, as well? The mod.
I did. I didn't get too far because I got sidetracked. But yeah, I do enjoy logistics games, as you know, those automation logistic games I love. The hard part for me though is my day job requires a lot of logistics
Coding.
and figuring stuff out. So so I do find it challenging, working on, Mercury Fallen, doing a lot of programming and testing and trying to figure out how to solve problems. Burns out my brain to then go play and solve problems and figure stuff out. So it is kind of funny. My day job and my level of entertainment often tend to be the same thing, which is kind of hilarious. So Sparrow also says Factorio has also made me not sleep for many nights. It made me try almost any other building/automation game and anything that can be closed that turned into base building, colony sims, etc. Eventually, it led me to this game. Awesome.
So, I have a couple of water puddles when he catches up. I'm guessing I need my janitor to come mop these up.
Yep. Yeah, what's your janitor busy doing?
He's a bot.
Oh. Sparrow said, wait, you developed this on the side to a full-time job? No, I didn't. I was full-time working on this, but I just mean working full-time on this and then, trying to go play,
Where are you going?
A game was kind of often...
Oh.
No, my brain's burnt out at the end of the day working on this and then going and playing Factorio. Sometimes it's a bit much.
There was that or the other factory building game as well.
Satisfactory.
Yes.
So, which was the first game you and I played together.
Yes, it was. And we will return to that eventually.
Pierre Bavan says, I played Dyson Sphere Program and liked it. Yeah, I've sunk a lot of hours into Dyson Sphere Program. That, to me, I think Dyson Sphere Program feels much more like a spiritual successor overall to Factorio and some of the other games. Like Satisfactory kind of feels like 3D Factorio, but does kind of its own thing in a different direction. There's other games that kind of do similar things like Factorio in their own different direction. Dyson Sphere does too, but I feel like Dyson Sphere is much more in line with what I would almost expect from a Factorio 2, because it takes a lot of those core ideals from Factorio and then brings it to another level, with the whole idea of being able to zip back and forth between different planets, and then you've got, because like in Factorio, you've got trains going from, as you expand out, you've got trains kind of connecting things, and then in Dyson Sphere Program, as you expand out, you're dealing with like ships going from planet to planet, doing that. So Fox Prime says he got into Dyson Sphere Program too early and it turned him off. Fox Prime, obviously, at the end of the day, different experiences, but yeah, I would definitely recommend Dyson Sphere Program. It's a great, given you said you sunk a lot of hours into Factorio, Dyson Sphere Program I think is definitely one to similarly get into.
I mean, I have put a little bit of time into it, but I need to go back and... Wow, that's a big boy. I need to go back and play a bit more of Dyson Sphere.
Yep, solid fuel generator takes up some space for reasons.
Yeah. I haven't got any harm structure resin yet. But bioplastic. Or I might. No, I probably haven't yet. I probably.
Yeah, you get a little bit of bioplastic coming in, so you get a whopping 3 bioplastic.
Yeah.
Which will be gobbled up and put into something.
It's probably been put into either. Well. Bioplastic will be. Not the floor. Where's the bioplastic going then?
At the moment, nowhere, because you now got 4 bioplastic.
Seriously? What did that machine ever do to you?
Looked at him funny.
I'm guessing so. Did I get the palette recipe? Would that go under there? You clicking a pen?
Maybe.
Yeah, guessing so. I still forget how. Ooh, that's a problem. Any recommendations on ingredients for biofuel pellets? Because you can lose. Do you get seeds back for growing stuff or not, or is it just basically?
When you harvest, or when colonists harvest a crop, you're guaranteed to get 1 seed back with a chance at additional seeds.
Okay.
So you're at least guaranteed to get the seed back. But you do have to be careful, because you can, if you're not watching out and you clear crops or whatever, you can gobble through all of your seeds. So it's usually good to set it up on something that that you're generating a lot of. But I'd probably recommend. So let's see. Yeah, you do get cooked potatoes. That's good. Yeah, you get 300 hemp.
Because
later on, we can get more. You got like aquariums and stuff going. You can use fish eggs.
Yeah.
Which can be helpful.
Because the only thing I've really got seed-wise is more potatoes.
On chat it says I usually have a lot of hemp potato fungi in excess, and so I use them. And also leave wild potatoes / fungi to proliferate a lot until you harvest them. So, because the natural, the wild potato and fungi will naturally spread.
Yeah.
So if you just leave them alone for a while, that can give you a whole bunch of seeds and items to play with.
That's why I'm glad I don't use the hemp. Yes, I know a crop became diseased. I didn't clear that off by accident. One thing you've got to remember is clearing stuff. Right, did they mine this? No. Why have they not mined that out yet? Where are my miners? Why am I seeing mining targets unreachable? Some of my miners.
Well, let's see, because so what you have selected, but you've got, yeah, so some of those inner tiles just can't be reached is why, but they have other stuff that they can reach.
Yeah.
So they should be able to,
That's what I don't understand. Because when I've been mining, there's nothing. Oh, there's a couple of like inner targets, but would they really try and do?
no, they shouldn't. Try, go to your mining tab and just click the deselect all, and then just reselect your mining again.
See what happens.
Yeah, just click. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well they can get to that. Just depends when somebody will come down and do it, or whoever's been selected within the thing to actually do it. I did forget you could do that.
Oh, the deselect all?
No. Yeah, I forget you could zoom in the minimap.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I'm trying to look at the map, trying to see if anybody was going anywhere near or anything. I do apologise if you do hear any background noises in terms of seagulls or anything like that.
I hear nothing, so you're good.
Yeah, just because I heard a seagull, that was all. It was just a case of, yeah, I can't. I have to have the window open. It's a little bit warm. Really, if you're feeling motivated, then if you're gonna work better, get working. So why? Nobody's headed down to that other mining bit yet, have they? No. What's taking the guys so? What's taking them so long? Oh, mining's third priority job, isn't it?
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
Well, who can I? Maybe I just swap you around a minute. Alright, okay. You failed to craft. So who have I sent? Want to find? How do I find you again? Is there not a way to actually track it without being on the colonist menu? Is
Yeah,
that
if you click them, yeah. Oh, well, we'll
button?
pause the game for a moment. And then, because if you click on his like profile at the top, like after you open up his panel, if you click on the little icon for him, it should the camera should follow.
Oh, right, okay. Should, but I found him in the end.
So, yeah, there's a setting to toggle that on and off, so I don't know if you got it on or off settings.
Yeah. You can also select a miner and move them down. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, stasis pod. Occupied, stable. Gary Wild. Ooh, he's a... Well, he's a lot of good. I mean, okay, he may be good, but he's a doctor.
I mean, doctors can be helpful. Also, usually, in order to be a doctor, they usually have some other good stats. As far as their core attributes for like smarts, muscles, and athletics. So, yeah, he looks good. He's got 7 in smarts and muscles. His athletics is not great, but.
Might get selected for these guys then. I just don't. I want him as a doctor, but I don't want him as just a doctor.
Well, yeah. Nobody should be just a doctor. That's ridiculous.
It's probably worth stopping. Don't know. Okay, so what are you doing? Okay, that's about right for David. Wandering around aimlessly. I do apologize, David. So the little thing there, David is one of our friends, and he games with us, and it's worth a little bit of a rib at times with him. He gives it enough, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
But yeah, we have good fun. We do. Like I said, there's a lot of structure around. So you got me checking now to see if I could see any more lights. But is that actually that reminds me, is that a set number? Or is it just like random number for how many pods?
No, there's a set number.
Robots are scattered around the world.
Yeah. And when you start a new game, that's a configurable setting that you can set.
Alright, okay.
So Fox Prime is asking what's favorite background noise for programming and for gaming. Background noise. Nothing. So I don't know. I used to, for me, if I'm developing and there's programming and then there's art. If I'm programming, I can't listen to anything because it requires too much brain power, and I can't have anything in the background. It's just got to be quiet. If I'm working on artwork, then I might have something on, either like a podcast or music or a YouTube video up on my second monitor or whatever when I'm working on artwork, because that just doesn't require the same brain power, and some sort of visual stimulus kind of helps with that. And for gaming, I don't know, kind of the same thing as artwork, really, I guess. But it depends on the game. Like if I'm playing, like story-driven RPG game, then no, I'm just focused in on that, and that's it. But if I'm doing like Factorio or whatever, or something that doesn't require, all of my attention, then yeah, I'll usually maybe have some sort of YouTube video or something up on the second monitor.
And if I was to answer that, I can't answer for the programming side, but for gaming, depends what I'm playing. It would depend on what I would be playing, if I'm honest. If it was Minecraft, for example, I'd sit there with maybe like you podcast, bit of music or something like that. But other than that, yeah, tend not to.
Yeah, you know, for me, it's only been recently that I've started getting into actually just kind of like having a secondary thing while gaming. Because most of my games for years, I just focused on the game that I'm playing. Like I didn't, you know, there wasn't this kind of like passive gaming experience of having stuff, you know, on the side while I'm gaming. Because often I play like action games or, you know, RPGs or something that really required, you know, most of my time and listening to something or whatever. And it's only, you know, the last few years I've gotten much more into like simulation games and like games like Factorio and stuff like that. You know, because I like big into games like Viscera Cleanup Detail or Power Wash Simulator, that, you know, are just zone out games. You know, there's not a lot to listen to. Like, you know, it's kind of designed. You're just gonna play the game while listening to something in the background. So I think it's been more over the last several years that I've kind of gotten into that more so by playing, you know, those kind of games, which has been good. I enjoy that. Recently, I remember a few weeks back I was like in the mood specifically for that. Like I'm looking for a game that I can play that I can just zone out and listen to something while I'm playing the game.
Yeah. It makes sense.
So, and Mercury Fallen is definitely one of those games. Like Mercury Fallen is definitely a game that you can just kind of chill out, play, and, you know, listen to some stuff in the background and zone out, have fun, lose time. It's great.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, considering the amount of time we've spent here tonight, you know, okay, I haven't got to the surface, but not far
but
from
I mean,
it.
we're also like on day 33, you know.
But I'm not, you know, I'm not running at 1x speed. I mean, you could go faster, but then if you go faster, that's where you end up getting mistakes sometimes. But I think I don't know if I've got it to the point where I'm now bottlenecked myself, or there's just so much going on right now that maybe there isn't enough materials there.
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of waiting for stuff to get, you know, better up, because I think you're still waiting for some bioplastic for some stuff. And did you ever? Yeah, because you have
15.
Did you ever have hardened structure resin queued up? Because I think that's in the smelter.
Yeah, in the oil refiner. I do have some queued, but it's not actually.
Because I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see that you actually like have any, but I don't know if it's if it's just gone into a machine or what, as far as, or gone into a construction project or. Oh yeah, you got it queued up.
It's queued up, but the others are showing.
Yeah, you're just waiting. Yeah, you're just waiting for some lazy colonists to, you know, to get their act together.
Yeah, because they're showing numbers, but the steel isn't, and neither is the hardened structure resin.
Yeah, well, because it's showing what's currently in stock, so you don't have any steel in stock.
So no steel or no hardened structure resin.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's just showing what's currently in stock.
Okay, that's good to know that one. So how many? Oh, I didn't put Mated Boy sleeping pad. Sleeping. That's another bedroom I've now got to tack on. That's a problem going to be probably for future me.
Indeed. So we're gonna have to wrap things up.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for stopping by during the stream. And Mercury Fallen, I'm Tim Pelham, the developer of Mercury Fallen. And thank everybody for playing and enjoying my game. and for all the amazing feedback. It's been awesome getting all the feedback from everybody, the testers providing reports during development, and yeah. So thank you everyone very, very much for stopping by during the stream, and thank you for Chris, GameTimeUK, for hosting the live stream.
It's not
Be sure to check
problem.
out GameTimeUK on YouTube.
So, I just want to say, obviously, thank you to Tim for allowing me to do this for his game, and obviously you guys that have been watching the stream, hanging out in the chat, and it's been fun. It really has. It's been enjoyable.
Yeah, it's been great.
So obviously, like Tim says, do go check out the game if you haven't done so, and if you're watching this video on my channel, then I will leave a link in the description to the game. And other than that, all there is to say is thank you very much, and we shall see you soon. So, until then.
Later, everybody. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you haven't checked out Mercury Fallen, definitely do so. So, thank you once again. And Mercury Fallen is officially released, no longer in early access. So, with that, see you folks later.
Goodbye, everybody.